Hello everyone, my name's Haydn Bettles and I'm going to be doing some demonstrations today on children helping with cooking at home. I am a primary school food teacher. I work in a school in Manchester. I run the Twitter page at Primary Food Ed, which showcases all the food work and farming work that we do at school. And I'm also proud to be an ambassador for Love British Food. So on behalf of Love British Food, I will be doing the demonstrations today. So this first video, what I'm going to be doing is basically some top tips on how to get children into the kitchen and to get them interested in to help you out at home. So the first tip I'm going to give you is to always use a sharp knife. Now, every time we use the knives at school, we sharpen the knife straight after, and it's very key that we use sharp knives when children are using them in the kitchen. The main reason is, with a sharp knife, we're not applying as much pressure down onto the food item what we're wanting to cook, because the sharpness of the knife is doing that for us. And it's the same when we're doing it with children, and basically we should be doing this as adults. So a sharp knife is very key. If children are putting more pressure on while they're cutting, they're more likely to cut their finger than if they were with a sharp knife. So it's very important we use a sharp knife when doing any cutting work with children. The second thing is that the children are standing correctly. It's very important. I'm going to show you a quick technique on how to make children stand and how to get them holding the knife and the food correctly ready for cutting. So it's called salute fingers food. So the first thing you do is you make sure that your child or whoever's helping you out at home has got a nice firm stance facing straight on. We don't want children cutting like this and leaning. It's very important that we're straight on. So with the hand that they don't cut with, so the hand that will be holding the food, we do a salute. So it'll be facing that way, and fingers nice and flat and straight, and it's a salute. So we say salute, salute. Fingers is where the children get their fingers ready depending on what they're going to cut. So we've got two methods. We've got the claw method and the bridge method. The claw method is where we lead with our three fingers here, with our little finger and our thumb behind, and it's normally when we get a food like this, and then we'll be finally slicing. Or we have the bridge method. The bridge method is where the finger and the thumb come either side of the food, and then your knife comes through the middle and slices in half as so. So I'm just going to show you those in action, and then you'll be able to see. So we're going to be using the bridge method. So salute, fingers for the bridge with the arch over, food. So that's the children then know that they've got the food securely. Knife, and then cut. And what you want to be doing is we want to be teaching children to cut with this part of the knife here, just after the tip. We don't want them pressing down on the food. We want them to use the full knife to cut the food item. So salute, the straight, food, salute, fingers, food, knife, and then using all of the knife. Now the second, it's really also important that the children aren't cutting on wobbly edges. You need to make sure that when they're cutting food, it always goes onto a flat edge. So then what we've got is we've got the claw method. Again, you're leading with your first three fingers, and your thumb and your little finger are behind us so. So what we're going to do is salute, fingers, food. So as you can see, little finger and thumb behind. We're leading with our middle finger. Knife, and again as so, we want to teach the children to use that part of the knife to make the first incision, and then using the whole knife to make the cut. We don't want children pressing down. We want them to be slicing through. So as you can see, slicing through, and make sure children are taking the time. It doesn't matter if it takes them a little longer. It's all about gaining their confidence while in the kitchen. So there you go. There's your bridge and your claw method. Another thing you might want your children to do in the house is to help peel. Now everyone it's not everyone's favourite job to peel vegetables. I can show you it's definitely not mine either. But one way what we do teach children, normally when we're peeling in the kitchen, we would peel like this downwards. But one thing with that is our thumb is also there. So with children, the most common injury is when they're slicing down, they normally slice the side of their thumb as well. So what we teach them in school is we hold it with our finger and our thumb here and have a firm grip on it halfway, and we peel away from our bodies. As so. And then the children can flip it over and then peel the other side. And it's the same with peeling parsnips or carrot or potatoes, sorry. We want to be peeling away from our bodies. We don't want to be peeling towards us. So there's that. Now, one task you might want to ask your children to do is to finely dice some peppers. Maybe you're making something very, very nice that requires a fine pepper. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to teach the children how to fine dice. So first things first, you always get the children to cut an appropriate sized food. So I wouldn't give a child of maybe primary age a full pepper and say, there you go, cut all that for me. I would slice it off, a little piece off for them, and then get it like this ready for them. So again, we're going to use the bigger knife now, appropriate sized knife for the food item. With the children, I would use an appropriate sized knife for their hand. So first things first, we're going to use the claw method. So we're going to go with salute, fingers for the claw, and food. Again, using this part of the knife and then using the whole knife to cut through. So I'm doing it on the angle for the camera, but in and back, in and back, in and back. Now, what we want to be doing is, again, getting the children. Now, sorry, I would have taken this this pith off. It's better for you to do it rather than the child because it is a little bit tricky. Sorry about that. But if we can just have fine slices, and again, the child can do this. Okay, and then there we are. And then what you would like them to do is, again, maybe get 3 or 4 just to start with, just to build the confidence, is again, salute, fingers, food. Now, salute, fingers, food has got 2 main aims. The main aim is to make sure the children are holding the food correctly, and the second one is to stop them twisting the hands, because you normally get children cutting like this, and also adults as well, and the main thing associated with this is you'll probably end up losing the tip of your finger and the tip of your thumb. So salute, fingers, food is all about the movement of the arm and not the hand. So the elbow is moving down, very much like one of those machines you see at the fun fair, the grabber machines. The elbow is moving and lowering, but the hand does not twist whatsoever. It's fixed in the spot. So salute, fingers, food, your knife, and then again, you want to just slice through that. And we're going to do another recipe in a bit using the green pepper and the finely diced. And there we go. And, you know, the children should be taking their time. See if they can get all equal sizes. That's the main thing. That's the main thing that will improve their skills, is getting it all in roughly the same. So there we go. That's a finely diced. You can get them to slice it, and then they can finely dice it. It's entirely up to you what you are doing. Now, another thing what people find tricky to cut with at home is an onion. And that's mainly because it slides around, or you might see on television some chefs preparing it in different ways. But the main way I would teach to children is, first thing, if I'm using primary age children, I use small shallots, and that's because of the fingers. I don't really want them doing this with this size of an onion, so I would use a shallot. But secondary school age, that's absolutely fine. So first things first, you've got your tail end, and then you've got kind of your hairy end, your root end. So obviously the onion's growing like this in the ground. Now, the root keeps everything together. The root is the powerful bit. The first thing you want to do is take off your tail end. So Again, I wouldn't let a primary age child do that just because of how rocky it is, and especially if the knife isn't razor sharp, you probably end up with no fingers left. And then what you want to do is you want to bridge method it over and slice it in half this way, as so. And then you've got the skin, so there's always that first layer with an onion I always take off just to make sure. And then again, as you can see, I've kept the root in. The root is firmly in. The root keeps all of this together. Now also what you can see is the onion has got layers. Now sometimes you might see on television, and that's just the way different people are used to, but this is the way I teach, is the layers do the work for you. In terms of, you'll see some people slicing the onion this way. Now I don't teach that, mainly because it's a little bit dangerous for children, but also the natural layers in the onion will do that work for you. So what you need to do is again, salute fingers food. I'm just going to turn it on the side just to show you. Is this part of the knife, and you just want it, you're not going all the way in. You just come in away as so. Okay. And then again, you're ready to slice. And so I'll show you, again, just sideways on, is you can get a finely diced onion without needing to slice it in half and in half again, as you can see there. The layers will, they will break up, but there you go. And if it's not fine enough for you, you can do something what we call a hachet, where you pinch the tip of the knife, you hold the tip, and then you can run your your knife through the onion as so. But definitely for children, I would use shallot, and I would also not get them to slice it this way. Let the natural layers do it for you. But best practice, sharp knife, appropriate sized foods, no chopping on glass. The knife will slip, the fingers can slip easily. Make sure that you can see here, the work surface here is solid, so put a piece of wet paper towel underneath. And just let them explore appropriate size. And if you want them to cook on heat, and maybe they're a little bit too small for the hobs, you can buy induction hobs which run off electricity and magnets. And it's what we use at school, and then you can place it on the table and the children can do some cooking at an appropriate level. Thank you very much. I will see you later for some recipes what we're going to show you, and I'll see you soon. Enjoy the show.